Welcome back, guys, and I'm afraid this isn't going to be a particularly cheerful video. I've just had enough of Duels recently. It came to my attention recently after playing a couple more games that it's just it's lost its fun. The decks just build themselves, and there's just no more room for innovation or anything. After watching the tournaments as well, that was a big factor with Mono Blue and Demir mid range dominating as expected. It was just there's just no room for anything exciting to happen, and the decks are just mythics thrown into a deck and just cold perfection. It builds itself, and I've just had enough, so this is probably going to be the last video I upload on this channel. But instead of just doing this little intro and going out, I thought I would show you the last deck and show you exactly why I'm quitting the game. As you can see by this list here, this is just every single mythic thrown into a deck, and the synergy is it's just already there. I mean, look the curve, for example. That curve doesn't look out of place in like standard, modern, legacy. It's just, it ramps up. Every deck should have more than 22 6 drops. It's just as simple. And that might not, if that's not enough to convince you, let's just talk about some of the synergies in the deck. For example, mechanized production. It's a mythic. It's meant to be a build around. It's meant to be a build around with stuff like alchemist vials and clues and stuff. But look at the synergies in this deck. We can copy. Where is it? Gear Hulks. Gear Hulks. We have all 5 Gear Hulks in the deck, and other amazing mythics. We can just start copying them. If that's not enough to sway your attention, look at the synergy between stuff like Sky Sovereign. Sky Sovereign, the legendary artifact. If you can start making multiples of these, you'll just take over the game very quickly. And the alternative win condition, of course, comes online. Same with, of course, playing a bridge, sneaking over here, just getting your best spells and slamming them on the field. So as you can see, I mean, that's just one card example. The rest of it is pretty straightforward. I mean, like I said, it just builds itself. I mean, I'm not going to spend any time on cards because it might take a while, and to be honest, I have no interest in doing so. But I thought, I guess I'll talk about the lands a bit as well. It's just all the rare lands thrown together in a deck. And of course, because we're not idiots, we run 3 Aether Hub and 2 Westvale Abbey. And you may be wondering why we're using colourless lands, because you can afford to get away with it in this meta. It's very slow and passive, and also we need to be able to cast cards like the Great Distortion. So that's the deck, and like I said, I'm not going to spend much more on it. I'm just going to get into some games here, as you can see. But yeah, so I mean, I've had a good run on YouTube. I've thought I've made friends, made enemies, of course. I'm a very controversial figure in this Magic community. But I don't know, as a YouTube phenomenon, you've got to expect these things to happen. And it looks like we have found our first victim. And let's just hope Stainless Shuffler, which has been proven to be undisputably has been proven to be bugged. Let's see if it screws me over here. But you are way more likely to flood out, so that's why we only run 38 lands and 100 cards. But we will we'll see if we can get our obligatory free wins here, if we can ever connect to our opponent. And Turkulkits is our first opponent, and let us commence the battle. So we got 5 lander with a Jace. No blue mana though, but or black mana, so actually we have to mulligan this, which is pretty unfortunate. This hand's just way better though. Look at this. We have the Nissa Saheeli Rai Combustible Gear Hulk, which again we have 22 6+ drops in the deck. So if we can start hitting red mana, that would be nice. God, I hope this thing hits ultimate. But we'll just carry on here. I mean, Tamio's also a good draw. We can actually cast her on turn 4, maybe, I don't know. But like I said, just battle cruise the magic, all the mythics thrown into a deck. Our opponent luckily is on a slow draw as well, so we're not going to get punished too badly here, I don't think. Yeah, we're just going to go for the turn 4 Tamio. We have blue, white. No, actually, we can turn 4 Tamio, never mind. That's going to be pretty fun and engaging for our opponent. I'm sure they're looking forward to getting 5 color turn 4 Tamio, and it's just, again, it's a symptom of a dying game. I don't think I'll be the first to leave. Let's put it that way. And yep, Tamio, just slam her down. Just where she belongs. We'll start drawing some extra cards here. put it on you, and then our opponent's in a bit of a pickle because next turn, I mean, we're building up to this combustible Gear Hulk, and it's practically impossible not to hit in this deck. So yeah, that's all I've got to say. Our opponent is generating energy. It looks like we're playing green-blue. Luckily, they didn't have the turn 1 Thriving Turtle, which would of course have practice. It's another unbeatable draw, the turn 1 Thriving Turtle, and our opponent is gonna, wow, they're gonna kill the Tamiyo, but we do get to draw a card out of it, so I guess I'm fine with that. There we go. There's our second red source. That's really nice. And there's a Longtusk Cub. We are facing a decent amount of pressure here, but we do have the combustible to stabilize. And okay, so we can actually General Tazri here, and then the turn after we can Gear Hulk. I think yes, we can. So let's slam her down. I don't think we actually have any allies because she's actually bugged and she doesn't let you fetch up Gideon despite him being an ally. So that's another example of stainless. As you can see, I'll zoom in just to prove it to you again. She fetches up an ally creature card, and of course everyone knows Gideon's a creature, despite everything else. But yeah, turn 6 combustible Gear Hulk. Then we can start Nissa ultimating Saheeli Rai, and then things should get out of control pretty fast. He can attack us with the Longtusk Cub, but if he has a land drop anyway. But if he does not, we can hold down the fort here. And again, it's just pound for pound we're playing better cards than him. Like, he's playing High Spire Infusion, we're playing Tamiyo, we're playing General Tazri, he's playing Longtusk Cub. It's no brainer which one's better between Longtusk Cub and General Tazri. And of course her ability is pretty relevant as well. We have white, blue, black, green, and of course hang on, I'm not entirely sure how I understand the wording between General Tazri here. Ally creatures you control. Oh, well, never mind, I guess it's irrelevant now. Our opponent just had it all. Removal spell, Blossom Defense. Must be nice. Luckily we have this combustible stabilize here. It's going to hit Ulmog and Kozlek, and it will be GG. See you next game, my opponent. Shikana, we're getting close to Delirium, but not quite there yet. But we're just going to see what we hit here. If you have Planeswalker creature, and let's see if our opponent takes the damage or if they give us the cards. Well, there goes 13 of their life total there. Just standard combustible Gear Hulk stuff. And then, yeah, so we hit 2, 6. Torrential Gear Hulk I'm kind of happy to lose, although I'm a bit sad about Angel Innovation. He can make the 6/6 beast now, I believe. Can he? Or is it 8 energy? 8 energy for 6/6. There's a Bristling Hydra. So opponent can 9. They can pump it 4 times. They can't actually attack yet. Or we can copy the combustible with Saheeli Rai, which seems pretty good. There's a Disciple of the Ring. Unfortunately, we don't really have any sorceries yet. Let's try and tap a bit better here, game. Unfortunately, we have no forests in the deck, actually. Maybe that's a deck building error, but anyway, let's punish our opponent a bit more here. Make them have to have a difficult conversation. So we actually hit 3 lands the second time, which is a bit unfortunate for our opponent. But he can make the 6/6 beast, so I think I'm just going to attack with the haste token here. And then he kind of has to chump it, because Saheeli Rai will kill him the turn after. This is what we do see. But do we have Delirium now, actually, after all these combustible Gear Hulk hits? Artifact, creature, Planeswalker, so not quite yet. And I'm gonna make the token, just play it safe here. And then opponent's probably gonna make that beast here, they do. And do we have any instants? No instants. Unfortunately, Disciple is not really doing too much for us here, but if we do draw our Kozilek's Return, we are back into this. And as you can see, Saheeli Rai doing a lot of work, as has Combustible Gear Hulk. So we just need to find our way to punch through here. Punch through. And I'm sure we'll find something. We'll be drawing extra cards, scrying, etc, etc, so I think we'll be doing okay here. We can even burn them out with Ishkana if they took that Combustible Gear Hulk hit, but as you can see, Magic, this game has been fairly non-competitive. It's just example of I mean, if you haven't seen the 5-color Mythic deck versus green-white energy and green-blue energy, you haven't really played the game. Is he bouncing our Combustible Gear Hulk? He is. Yeah, that's a bold move. If he gets too aggressive on the attacks here, we can't just kill him with the land on the way back. So I will not block if you make that attack. If he attacks all out, we get hit for 6, 8, 10, get hit for 11. So if he has another High Spire Infusion, he'd kill me, but I think it's worth the risk, because we'll be able to crack him back on the way back. Yeah, he's doing that. I mean, I'm not gonna block, because we have lethal on the way back. Okay, we make it. You could have Fog, of course, or another creature, I guess. I guess we'll see. Let's see if our opponent miscalculated, or if they didn't notice the manland, or etc, etc. Or maybe they just, they're passing back to us. It does look like they have something in hand, but I'm absolutely gonna go for it. See what we hit. Aetherwind Basket. Do we have the green for that? We actually don't, so I'm gonna bottom that. Oh, plus you. Sky Sovereign. I mean, I'm just gonna go for it, I think. And our opponent, yeah, they just couldn't beat 5-color mythics. An example of the little underdog losing. Unfortunate, but that's what happens. It's just what happens. So there's our first win of the day. As you can see, I haven't been playing too much recently. Let's get our little ranks up, and then yeah. So I mean, green blue energy is no push of our opponent. He had the God draw. Just too bad a God draw was no match for General Tazri, and yeah. I think it's the fact. I think another reason, another notch in the arrow aimed at Magic Duels at the minute is the fact that Standard is so competitively viable. Like, you can bring almost anything to Standard these days and you can compete. But while this format is very much a 2-deck format, you either play 5-color mythics, or you play green blue energy, or you're just trying to lose, really. But we find Mako in rank 34, so he must be semi-competent, or you might be just jamming the mindless mythic deck. I think this is a keep because we can. I think this is a keep because we can mechanize production on Cataclysmic Gear Hulk, which is a combo, as everyone's aware, and our opponent just can't win. Unfortunately, they're playing an aggro deck, so we might not make it that far, but we can dream. What can you say? Saheeli Rai on turn 3 is going to be nice. We can plus her up, start scrying some good draws. Can we? Yeah, we can't see Healy right turn 3. Let's see how good our opponent's curve is here. If they're playing mono green. Which is basically just a poor man's blue-green energy, but nope, luckily they don't have it play, so we will jam the mindless turn 3 Planeswalker. Ooh, Crusher Tentacles is nice. Can reset our mechanized production. But yeah, let's start getting our draws on. We do want to guarantee we have 5th land here, so I will keep that on top. And also, let's just cast our Aether Wind Basket, which is pretty relevant right now. Am I sitting on 1 blue? Clifftop Retreat. Sunken. Oh, I've got double blue. Let's see, this mana's perfect in this deck. Yep. I hope you pressure that. That's the Healy Rye. Well, I am fine with that. Breaking character for a second, but I am actually fine with that. And yeah, passing it back. So this Combustible Gearhulk might not be too impressive, but like I said, Cataclysmic Gearhulk, mechanized production. It's going to be very hard for our opponent to come back from that. And then yeah. So as you can see, we're also immune from mill in this deck, which is very relevant. But let's see if they have an answer. What can Woodland Bellower fetch up in this? I don't think it can fetch up anything, but I could be wrong here. I'll choose you. Let's see what our opponent chooses. Right choice. And yeah, we'll pass it back to them. They could be running Reclamation Sages, and well, I jinxed myself there, but I think we'll be okay. We can hopefully either Crusher Tentacles or Woodland Bellower next turn, and then we can go from there. Rex Sages are obviously very important for the matchup for our opponent, and Sky Sovereign is pretty good. Kill that pesky Kessig Prowler. And then we're really hoping to rip our green source off the top. Woodland Cemetery, Sunken Hollow, Clifftop Retreat, Isolate Chef. So we actually only have 1 green, so we do need to rip a green source off the top. Or we might just reset with Crusher Tentacles. I'm not entirely sure yet. We'll have to see what our opponent does. Luckily that draw doesn't seem too aggressive. Well, just draw the green source off the top. You see that? I told you earlier on, I foreshadowed the Sky Sovereign mechanized production synergy. And you all mocked me. You mocked me, you said. You laughed and you told me, wow, Nighthawk, you're the first person who have ever thought of that. And I said, I don't know, I've lost track, guys, I'm sorry. As you can imagine, it's been a pretty long night having to prepare your YouTube farewell. But see if our opponent has the response here, and then of course we can Woodland Bellower the next turn to crew up Sky Sovereign. And yeah, we can go from there. So it looks like it does resolve. I will keep the one with the mechanized production, and I'll shoot you. And now we will Woodland Bellower. Let's see if we do have a target in the deck. No targets in the deck, it looks like, but all is not lost. We can crew and then put our opponent on a pretty scary clock here. So yeah, this is just as we drew it up, and it's just a symbol of a great game. Duels of the Planeswalker Magic Duels is decline. They do have the Nissa, but Sky Sovereign will be able to dispatch that handily. And we can go from there. They are facing a pretty aggressive clock right now, because Sky Sovereign will be able to ping it for 3, then we can attack for 3, and then we don't even need to target the Nissa. Ooh, what a lucky son of a... Wow, our opponent's such a lucker here. I can't believe it. Must be nice, eh? Must be nice. I wish I had that luck. Ridiculous. double Rexage. Nice job, opponent. Nice job. That's a good draw. Can fetch up a second red or triple green. I think a triple green might be more relevant than second red, so we'll just... Well, we can get both, can't we? I forgot we have a amazing mana fixing in this deck. So, we'll attack our opponent's Nissa, I think. Yeah, we can 8th Wind Basker, and then the turn after we can like Chandra, and then go from there. But yeah. Uvenwald Hydra is a good mana fixture in this deck, as it turns out. As you can tell, I've tried and tested this, so yeah, I knew how this was gonna go. So this thing will flip into a... Wow, they have their own Sky Sovereign, must be nice. We'll flip into a 5/5, but they're just gonna play Sky Sovereign now, so... then we can 8th Wind Basker, gain 3 energy, attack again, so we should be pretty good here. Either way, I think the Nissa's gonna go down. I might just go face, to be brutally honest. I don't know, it's an interesting choice, because if he has like a Primal Bellow, he kills me with his Sky Sovereign, but there's not too much I can do about that. I can try and take him off the crew, and to do that I'd have to attack his face. But then he'd get a double hit with his Nissa, so it's a precarious situation. Our opponent's clearly deep in the tank as well. But we could of course just Chandra. Okay, he's going for the flip over Sky Sovereign, which I'm very happy with. Because now I can just double attack his face, he has to jump, and then we can 8th Wind Basker, and then he's going to be very, very deep in the doo-doo, as they say. Rabid Bite? That's bizarre. Oh, never mind, Rabid Bite's that removal spell. I thought Rabid Bite was the fight mechanic one. Silly me. Mindrak Demon's a nice draw. I think I'm going to attack his Nissa. And then make him decide, and then we slam down the Lizard. Okay, he's letting Nissa go down. And then here comes the Titan. A 9/9 essentially, against mono green. And then it'll be a 9. We can attack for like 12 next turn if we don't draw another creature. We can Chandra plus Mindrak Demon. That seems pretty good. The question is, do we play around a pump spell? If he has Primal Bellow, we lose. As long as it has more than one creature. Can we block by more than one creature? Which is not relevant here. Okay, our opponent's sinking all the mana into Duskwatch. Finish. What would be a good draw for us here? Angel of Innovation would be very, very good. There's lots of good draws in the deck. It's a case of whether we find them. We do have Delirium, so we don't have to worry about Mindrak Demon. There's a land. Make sure it leaves up double black here. Black, here we go. Well, I guess we can actually just burn them out. We don't have to worry about that. Worry about the mana. We hit land. Mindrak Demon. Four more cards. There's a Linvala, Green Warden. Okay, so now we will attack our opponent with both creatures. And then they have some difficult decisions to make. as we can have a 12-12. We have a 12-12 and an 8-8 attacking, so they have to block wisely here. That's not the right attacks. Blocks, I mean, unless you have a fog. I'm gonna go for it. Save 1 energy in reserve. Do they have it? No, they don't. Very unusual by our opponent there. But I guess they're not used to playing the deck. And I think we're gonna call it there. Like I said, I'd just like to thank you all guys profusely and genuinely. It's been a hell of a ride. It's been a hell of a 2 years. And hopefully, well, I'll see you in a different game or a different duels. And yeah. Peace.